guys, welcome back. I hope you're all well. I am sat on the floor for today's video. As you'll be able to tell by the title, I'm gonna give it a go at making my own wreath. I'm no expert. I've never done. I've done it once, but not in this way. I did it with, I think, a copper frame before. You know, like those metal ones you can just buy. I've got I think it's made out of willow, so I'm going to try and do that. I've got a vision in mind. Hopefully it'll work. Like I said, I've never done it in this style before, but I thought it's something Christmassy. I've got the day just to do nothing at home, so I thought, why not make use of my day and try and get this wreath done. It is the 11th of December when I'm filming this. I'm not sure when this will go up, but I still haven't got a wreath on my front door, so I thought it was about time I actually got my arse in gear and made it. Everything for this wreath has been like foraged. I've got all sorts of different like foliage in this bag here. The wreath itself is quite big. I did buy this from my local farm shop, and it's actually by Gisela, so you'd probably be able to get them quite a few places. If not, check out her website. I don't know what I'm doing, so we're gonna wing it. And I hope you enjoy it. Quickly come in closer and show you what I've got in mind. Obviously mine isn't going to be covered in snow because it never snows here, but this kind of, I got it off Pinterest, you know, you'll be able to see. I want to kind of leave the top of it bare and then just decorate the bottom section. We'll just see how it goes. If it's shit, I apologise, but it's something fun to watch, isn't it? Right, so I'll just quickly go through what I'm using. I've got the fir cones, the brown string, the actual wreath itself. I've got a bag of bits, so I'm just going to get down there and see what happens. Wish me luck. Right, so this is our wreath. I'm going to try and kind of like start it central, so they've started it with this fir stuff. See, I'm thinking this is going to be too big for my front door already. Any florists out there, please excuse me. Probably make a shite job of this. Okay, I'm just going to cut. Probably do with some sectors, to be fair, but I'm just going to use some kitchen scissors. This wicker stuff's really handy as well because it's got like obviously all the holes in, so you can just poke your foliage in and you don't necessarily have to tie it, which is also handy and saves a lot of time. I'm just going to poke it in the way the branch naturally curves, so we've got like that bit coming off the bottom. And again, remember, all this is going to be covered up, so it's only a rough sort of idea. I have to keep lifting it up as well just to see how far it dangles down. The door isn't massively wide, but I think you're going to be able to manipulate them into shape so you can kind of get the general idea of how big it's going to be. Right, what am I going to go in with next? I've got a little bit of Christmas tree here. I'm just going to start feeding some bits in, see how it looks. I'll probably speed this bit up, but you get the general idea. I really recommend one of these willow wreaths because you don't really have to tie it, you can just poke it in. Obviously the odd bit you're going to have to tie, but the majority of it will just poke in and fall naturally. So. So I don't know if you'll be able to see the back of this. I've actually got a real long branch and it's just poking out, so I'm just going to fold it down alongside the way that that wicker goes, and I'm just going to wire it off. Take a little bit of wire and I'm just going to attach that to there just so it's held down. This wire is so good as well. I can't remember what mill it is, but I'll try and find out and link it below. It's really pliable, but it's quite strong, so it holds the twigs in place really well. Right, so I've got my two long bits. I've taken a bigger bit and I've just cut some branches off, and I'm going to add them to the bottom just to fill it out. So I'm going to poke a few bits in here. What does that bit look like? I kind of got to match it the whole way around and do like. The trouble with having it even either side, you've got to kind of do the same length either side. I know that makes complete sense, but to somebody that's never done this before, it's a bit of a mish. Right. I've wired these bits down so they, don't know how much you can actually see. I've wired these like thicker branches down so they actually create a curve. So just using copper wire. Don't worry if you can see it because you will cover it up later. So I'm just going to see which way these naturally fall and line them up and then put them under here. And then wire those in as well. You can manipulate it quite a bit as well, so if it's not bending the right way, you can always make it look like it is if you get my drift. Right, so that should be pretty even. I'm just going to cut a bit more wire. You can tell it's starting to bulk out a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and add a load more now and then update you when it's a bit more fuller. You get the general idea, you just got to keep building it up and building it up so it doesn't look sparse. So I've just gone ahead and filled up the bottom part of the wreath so it looks like this. As you can tell, I'm still a way away from completion, but it is starting to fill up. We've got the general curve shape that I was after at the bottom. I'm going to fill it up obviously a little bit more because we've got patches here and here, but I think that's enough kind of like Christmas tree on it. And now I'm going to go in with ivy, some bay, some holly, some eucalyptus and just build it up a little bit more. So I've got to the stage where I've filled the bottom bit out and just wrapped some ivy through the bottom, and I decided to take it up and around the top as well. Right, so now it's time to start poking bits in, making it look a little bit more decorative than just a load of twigs stuck on top of a load of other twigs. These are, I think, camellia leaves. Not 100%. They're nice, they're waxy, they're rubbery. I'm just poking them in here just to make the front look a little bit fuller. It's literally a case of putting things in, seeing if you like them. I mean, it's got a massive like bite hole in, so I don't like that. You know what I mean? I think something's chewed through it, so that I'll be getting rid of because I don't like that. I don't like how that one looks. Let me just trim. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I am always heading towards perfection, but I know deep down it doesn't exist. So what you want to try and do now as well is where you've tied with the wire is actually cover those bits of wire up if you can see any. Some bits I've had to tie on the front instead of the back because I just can't get the wire through. I'm not going to lie, I am struggling with this bit. So I've got my leaves on the bottom section just sat in the oval part. I think they look alright. It's hard to tell until you put it on the door, if I'm completely honest, how even stuff is. I feel like I might need to put a few more up here. But yeah, I've just been and cut my eucalyptus from outside and I'm going to start adding that. It really is trial and error because I've never done it before. I'm not, obviously, at nowhere as good at this as a florist would be. I imagine they are cringing if there's any florists watching. However, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? Keep my eucalyptus pretty simple. When you've got to this point, you want to start thinking about where you're going to decorate. So I've got my big box full of pine cones and I'm probably going to keep it really simple like the rest of it and sort of place them around the base. I'm going to try and place them out where I want them before I actually go ahead and put them on. I'm kind of wishing I had a glue gun to do this because tying them is going to be an absolute pain in the ass, but if you've got a glue gun then it'll probably work really well. However, I'm going to have to sit and tie all of these, so wish me luck. I'm getting a little bit stressed with it now, not going to lie. I mean, I keep thinking, oh no, it needs a little bit more there, a little bit more there, but I'm just going to accept the fact that it's not going to be perfect. It's homemade and I need to stop trying to make it look like it's off bloody Pinterest, because we all know everything off Pinterest is a lie and no one's life is like that. I've just found these real fat Christmas tree bits, which I love. And I'm just trying to make them sit either side. I'm not quite sure the professional, technical term for these bits of foliage, but if anybody does know, then let me know, because I quite like some more of this around the house. And the bits that just look a bit bare, so poke a bit around here. You can probably also do this with moss, actually. Fingers feel like they're going to bleed. The things we do for Christmas, eh? I won't even bloody see this, it'll be outside the door for everyone else to see. Yeah, I'm going to carry on intertwining that up through because I really like how that looks. You can't see what I'm on about, it's this stuff. It doesn't actually look like a Christmas tree. It's really thick and it's got like it's dark green at the bottom and then goes to yellow. If you know what it is, please tell me, because I need some more of that. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical at either side, I don't think. Am I overthinking this? It's meant to be fun and it's just causing me grief. So this is it so far. I think I've got the foliage how I want it. I've just put it on the front door just to try it out. Left hand side's a little bit bulkier than the right. I love the eucalyptus and I love the ivy, so I will show you what it looks like when I've got my fir cones on. Could leave it here if you don't want fir cones on, or you could put a bow on it, or put, I don't know, baubles on it, or some sort of like felt decoration, stars, anything. You could really go mad on it, but because I'm quite a minimal person, I'm going to keep it like this and just put my pine cones on. I'm going to thread it through and tie it on. Hopefully you won't be able to see the wire. We will soon find out. These are really brittle, so it's probably better to do it with fresh ones. I'm going to leave about that much wire. And then obviously I'm not going to be able to get the whole wire around the actual wreath itself because it's too thick. So I'm just going to tie it to, I've already tied the leaves to, and just hide that out. So I'm just going to poke it through and tie it over the top. I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times. With a bit of luck, it'll stay in place. Probably isn't, well, definitely isn't the technical way to put a pine cone on. I'm going to carry on and do the rest. So I've put my pine cones on. I've only gone with 5 just because I wanted to keep it super simple. I did try placing some underneath and round the sides and up to the top, but I just thought it looked a little bit overkill. It's quite a basic wreath, so I wanted to keep it like that. But if you're doing yours differently, then feel free to go wild. I absolutely adore it. I'm going to pop it on the front door and show you how it looks. I'm done. My fingers are killing me. If you have got any sort of pliers, then that's probably a better way to twist and poke things into your wreath. I would just do it with my fingers and I'm regretting it now. That is how I made my wreath. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you've put on your wreaths this year. I would love to know. It's probably my favourite, one of my favourite parts of decorating is the wreath and the tree. So really glad I gave it a go and made my own this year. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure you're subscribed and your notification bell is on to be updated as to when my videos go up. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!